to another Monday with Dawntrail of Final Fantasy XIV. We are on week 5 of the role quests, which means, of course, we are on the final of the 5 role quests, at least until we finish the main story of the base game. After which we can go on over to doing the final section of these role quests. But until then, on this lovely Monday evening over here in Bulgaria, or for the rest of you, midday or evening, or I don't know, I guess evening, maybe also, depending on where we are, or morning, we are, of course, brain froze. In any case, we are doing the role quests. Which means, of course, we're taking step by step as you're walking over. In the past 4 weeks, we have noticed a theme with all of the quest givers and the villains of the arc. As it turns out, they're kind of mirrors of each other. You got our villains, who are foils to the heroes, of course, and that they both have a particular thing going with the particular relic they either are after or hold on to. But it all comes down to the abuse of power to get what you want easily. And those who are trying to get them back, learning how to responsibly use them. And how to responsibly not even have to use them in some cases. We've learned this for healing, for casting magic, through shooting from a distance. We've learned this from going all in and striking with the best we could. And now, for the final lesson, here, we're gonna learn this for tanking. Yeah, it's been a minute. But I've decided to go for the tanking quest with my warrior, as this was the first job I did ever tanking with Mrawa'a. It was actually a funny story. Yeah, here we have the art. I originally went in as a pugilist slash monk in Final Fantasy XIV back in 2023. And then, I eventually unlocked Warrior, or Marauder, and then Warrior. And I had an insane amount of fun going through stuff. Problem was, I didn't quite figure out how glamours worked, even after talking with the NPCs about it. So it was more touch and go originally. And I was wearing the Heavenstern armor instead of the armor that I really should have been wearing to be the proper item level and buff dude to deal with things. So it was a bit of a chore. Yes, it still got for base ARR as a warrior. And now we must approach Lozinique. The narwhal beckons. The narwhal. So an actual, is that actual narwhal in this universe, or is it something that is akin to a narwhal that has its name narwhal? The young woman gazes into the horizon with a troubled expression. I step into the horizon. Oh, hello. Judging by your attire, you must be a traveler from across the seas. Then I suppose Brookavoo has enlisted you to our aid. which were guided here safely must be the work of the brave Narwhal, who remains watchful even in this dire time. We are ever grateful for his vigilance. The Narwhal, you say? My name is Lozinique, and I hail from the northern reaches of Dawntrail, where even our breath freezes when caught in the chilling winds. Ooh, windy. Our people revere Taravajral of the Narwhal, whose essence rests in the cradle of the sleepless, our most sacred treasure. Fathomless depths it swam without rest, protecting its home from many who will do it harm. Legends tell that the Narwhal could place the burden of its fatigue upon another and thus was able to maintain its vigil night and day. That's wild. So too can any who possess the cradle lull a person, willing or no, into a deep slumber, all while avoiding the need to sleep themselves. So it's an ability everyone who's been cramming through high school has been wishing they had. Or me, who wants to hang out with people who are in different time zones. Needless to say, such power could cause untold harm in the wrong hands. Thus was the greatest warrior of our village, Tentoawa, tasked with crossing the ocean and returning that which is most sacred to us. I'd have joined him, but I feared I would only be a burden, so I remained here that I might find someone to send to his aid. Tentoawa has ever rushed bravely and blindly through the thick of things, leaving me behind to watch and worry. But you were sleeping. But if there's anything I can do to help him, even a little, then I must. Brookavul has done well to send you to me. I can tell you are just the man to temper his more reckless tendencies and keep him safe during his quest. As luck would have it, a letter from Tentoawa arrived shortly before you did. It seems he discovered that the thief made their way to a place called Ishgard. While I don't doubt his prowess, even Tentoawa would be rendered helpless before the Narwhal's lullaby. Please, could you follow him to Ishgard and find him before he does anything rash? Ishgard is like a second home to me. I won't let your treasure be misused. Yeah, Ishgard's not a second home to Mrawa'a. He appreciates the time and the people and loved them, but it wasn't his home. Thank you, Mrawa'a. I don't know why the Narwhal would guide a brave protector to our side while of Toledo's and dark traits, but I'm nonetheless grateful. Tentoawa sails to an unfamiliar place, but despite his hasty nature, he doubtless spent time gathering information about his new surroundings before planning his next step. If Ishgard has a place like this one, where people gather to drink and talk, he might go there first. Ask for a swordsman with blue hair and a attire like mine, and I'm sure it won't be long until you find him. Okay, I believe you. So, that's all his travel to Ishgard, and he's like getting information in the city's taverns. Okay, guess we're going to Ishgard! Ishgard! Just checking something real quick. So I'm thinking when 8.0 comes out, that I will do it with Cheshire, the character I've been using for North American servers. It would be probably a lot more convenient for a lot of people. If it isn't Mrawa'a, what would it be? A lad from the western continent? Well, I can't be going around gossiping about the comings and goings of my customers now, can I? That's a quick way to an empty tavern. But I suppose since you're you, I can make an exception just this once. A lad much like the one you described walked through my door not long ago. Was asking anyone whose ear he could bend over some stolen Narwhal or some such he was after. Usually you buy someone a drink for interrogating them, but not him. Nobody knew what he was going about, but he was determined. As where else in Ishgard people might gather to flap their lips. So I told him to head to the Jeweled Crozier. If you leave now, I reckon he'll still be there. You know him when you see him, trust me. Well, yeah, I was giving the specific description of the man. God, I love that axe. I love this glam. I'm so happy I managed to build it together. Hey, wow. Yeah, sure. Bunch of useless. By the now was on. You'd think manners keep people warm for how desperately these people cling to them. And here I'm trying to rid the city of a thief. Yes, it seems you know me, but I don't think I've ever seen you before. I remember. I know your friend. I came here to help. Was Nick sent you? Even across the oceans, she can sense when I'm in trouble. Well, I won't deny a helping hand, especially one with a blessing. I'm having no luck getting information from these people. Seems there are unwritten rules regarding favors. No one's bothered to tell me. Yes, you can count on me. I know my way around these people. I know the thieves traveled here, but that's where the trail runs cold. Ha, I get it. I thought it'd only be a matter of time until they use the cradle to commit some misdeed or another, but it seems nothing is amiss. Within or without Ishgard's walls. Without a surprise. I've only a description to go on, although it's availed me nothing so far. A woman of a race known in this land as an Elzen. She has striking red hair and eyes the color of rust. A scar dominates her forehead, and a mole rests upon her lips. She came from a village, buzzing as a scholar with an interest in the cradle. Though she gave us a name, I know now it was a lie, just like everything else she spewed from her mouth. The bounty of meat, vegetables, and fruits she offered was worth its weight in gold to us. After the cold snap we suffered last year, we couldn't afford to turn her away. But looking back, I realized how brazen her deception was. Although she wore the robes of a scholar, she moved with the poise of a predator. I marked her as a fearsome warrior the moment I laid eyes upon her. Of course, she wouldn't have been able to travel as far north on her own if she was unseasoned, as I thought nothing of it at the time. So I thought nothing of it at the time. It was my first misstep of many. That's all I know. It's not much, but if you see even the smallest scrap of a clue in there, it'd be a damn sight better than what I currently have. These scholars study in Ishgard without passing through the astrologicum. She feels even the rounds of guilt she would seek penance at St. Raymond's Cathedral. A skilled sword will be known among the knights of the congregation. Let's go with this one. Knights, was it? I suppose that's what you call these deadly-looking fellows clad in steel. Yes, you may be onto something there. But where would we find one willing to speak? At their barracks near the tavern. I know the way. I'll meet you there. Onwards and upwards. There we go. That's it, right? That's the one I don't. Let's not waste any time, Mrawa'a. Why, Master Krug, what else brings you to the congregation? Aha. This passage of the Unbound is not a name I have heard before, but if one of their number has brought an artifact of great power to Ishgard, we will be advised to suffer their presence. We shall act on this information at once. If there is aught that would threaten this peace, then it is our duty to root it out. Consider the knights of the congregation at your disposal. Thank you for your hearing us out, truly. Now, does anything about the description we shared ring a bell? An elven woman with red hair and eyes of the color of rust. Wait. You said she bore a scar on her forehead, yes? And a mole? No, it could not be. You know who she is? Such information is privy only to those within our order. Pray understand my hesitation. What? Weren't you listening to anything we told you? She's too dangerous to be left alone. This isn't the time for secrecy. I know I'm a stranger in this city, your city, but I can't stand by while innocent lives might be at risk. He's right. The then justifies bending the rules a little. If you can't trust Antor, then trust me. You are right, of course. If the hero who ended the Dragon-Sung War is not worth of our trust, then who is? Very well. Master Tentor, pray accept my apologies. Although you may not be Ishgard, your desire to keep the people safe is plain to see. We shall place our trust in you, as Master Krug has. I'm glad we can see eye to eye. Now then, what do you know of this thief? Your description called back some old memories. Memories of a knight named Lefion. Really, recalling her story makes me ill at ease. For the mark she left upon our honorable order was black as pitch. None know of her whereabouts since she was expelled from the congregation. I had thought living with the shame of her deeds would be punishment enough, but if she now consulted with villains that threatened the very foundation of order, then it is clear we can suffer her freedom no longer. I shall inform my superiors of this development and suggest that the congregation does all in its power to track down Lefion and place her in custody. If you learn aught of value, I promise to share it with you at once. Really, that's more than we could have asked. I suppose we have to consider what to do in the meantime. Care to join me over there, Mrawa'a? I suppose we have to consider what to do in... Okay, things are good. Things are recording well, I think. There he is. So I'm just checking the sound for a moment. So, he is a Midlander hero-based character, but he has the body language of a Highlander. Interesting. So we have a name, Lofine, a former knight of Ishgard. That means she knows how to hide herself in the city well. Grasping about its straws won't get us anywhere. My own unfamiliarity does little to help our chances. We may have no choice but to wait until the knights discover a lead. Nevertheless, I intend to spend every waking moment learning more about the city and its workings. As for you, only ask that you be ready to move at a moment's notice. Until then, be well. Sleepless in Ishgard, Tantolo is eyeing each passing Ishgardian with curiosity. There you are, Mrawa'a. I've been walking Ishgard streets wherever I've been able, and whenever I've been able, and I've taken to searching for any sleeping people. You see, the land I'm from isn't much warmer than this, and people know not to tempt fate by dozing off in the open air. Even those blind with drink manage to find their way home somehow. I figured the only force powerful enough to overcome that instinct for self-preservation would be the cradle, so if we find a sleeper exposed to the elements, we may very well discover a little feed nearby. You know, suddenly I realize why so many people who do this live typically just read the dialogue without doing it out loud. I'm getting so tired. I can't imagine she brought it all this way just to remain idle. It's a tedious prospect, but we need to scour every back alley and shadow walkway before anyone catches something much worse than a cold. Master Krug, Master Tentoa, I bring good tidings. Well, the Temple Knights was no time is distributing handbills across Ishgard containing Leofine's inscription. These efforts have already borne fruit. We but recently received a report of someone matching her features being sighted. Really? Where? She was sighted near Camp Dragonhead by a patrolling sentry. He described the woman with red hair and a distinct scar on her forehead. The outpost can be reached by passing through the Gates of Judgment and heading east. Once there, speak with Sir Eugenois for the full report. I knew she'd show herself. Let's hear Mrawa'a. For your sake, I hope you attune to the ether right there, man. Because I'm teleporting. Yippee! Where? That must be him. Well, don't dally. I was informed you were on your way. This is concerning the report by one of our sentries, yes? He sighted a woman matching the description in the handbill sent by the congregation. She was heading south along the footpath, but that's all we know. Yes, this is the Edgewalk. Genoa? What? What fast? I shall send aid at once. What happened? A shipment of supplies was waylaid by a monstrous beast. A contingent of temple knights should have been protecting it, but something is amiss. They need our help. We would be in your debt. The shipment was attacked on the road west of the observatorium. I shall muster more knights. Please go find my men before any lives are lost. To the T-Rex! Fly, Rexy, fly! Friend of mine is continuing MSQ now. They are doing the post-patches of Dawntrail. I'm excited for them. I don't know if I'm gonna make it in time for when to get to the dungeon, but it's gonna be cool. They should be close, right? I'll search to the other side of the river. Mrawa'a, you search further down the road. And keep your weapon at ready. Uh-huh. Let's go. Down they go. Now back to regular scheduled reading. You saved us. We're almost. Oh. Ah! Here we go again. You won't be feasting today! Not a moment too soon. Braggart. Affectionate. The wide eye watches eternal, and eternal is the sleep it bestows. Ah. So late. Terribly sorry. No, they're not. Just look. They're asleep, is all. Asleep. Good. Good. Our trusty chocobos suddenly became unsure of their feet, and the wagon toppled onto the side of the road. There was nothing for it but to fix the damage on the spot. The Temple Knights went to secure the area, but before I knew it, each and every one of them had fallen asleep where they were standing. Then these beasts attacked. It was just me before these snarling fangs. Time to wake up. Sleeping any longer in the cold will have you. Oh my god, that sound effect. What happened? We fell asleep, but we were patrolling. You must be mistaken. A temple knight would never shuck his dirty toe. Are you calling me a liar? I saw you fall asleep on your ass with my own eyes. If not for Sir Eugenoir's quick response and the bravery of these warriors, we all would be food for the vultures by now. The congregation will hear of this their election of duty, you can be sure. Oh gods. Now hold on just a moment. They aren't the ones to blame. A sacred relic of my people was stolen and... now's the time. Sorry, forget I said anything. No, now is the time. You should be telling them. This is serious business, man. Whatever this that took the chocobo seems to have passed. So resume my journey once the carriage is repaired. Assuming the gods are quite refreshed, I believe we can make it on our own. Please return to Cap Dragonhead and warm yourselves. It's no coincidence that the giant birds and the two gods took leave of their senses around the same time. This is the work of the Cradle. But even if Lefion was here, she is no longer. Let's return to the city and consider our next steps. Aye. I'm sorry, but we had no... I don't know what happened. Yeah, this is depressing. And our brave hero is not gonna tell him what happened. So now they're gonna get blamed for horrible things until we solve the issue at hand. Brave hero is not making a good first impression, Tentinoa, or however your name was. We have received the reports of the incident near Camp Dragonhead, so of our own sleeping on duty by the Fury. As you reach them even a moment later, this day would have been much darker. Though it pains me to say it, those two shall be punished as befits the magnitude of their negligence. If I may, I don't believe the blame rests entirely on their shoulders. Their Cradle of the Sleepers was used against them, I'm certain. Ah yes, you said it possessed the power to lull others into deep sleep. Admit that would explain these exceptional circumstances. Regardless, they were still bested by their enemy, and their charge was almost killed as a result. Punishment is the only recourse. I see, a harsh stance maybe, but I can respect that you don't treat your duty lightly. Well, if you learn anything else of Deliphian's plots, please let us know at once. Even though we didn't find her, I'm glad we were able to save those soldiers. Thank you for coming to us. Nate, this is the Temple Knights who owe you thanks. We shall continue our search, and rest assured, you shall be the first to know of any developments. Mrawa'a, there's more I will tell you about the Cradle. Things I should have told you sooner. Join me over there and I'll do my best to fix the mistake. What, does it put people into a coma if you're not careful? Are people gonna die if it gets overused? Speak to me, Tito. Now you've seen with your own eyes what I've only been able to describe. The Narwhal's lullaby can put even hardened warriors into a restful slumber. They may as well be defenseless as a newborn babe. But even with such power, my people have never used it to attack our enemies. Its sole purpose has always been to keep keep a single person awake, an eternal guardian who would never sleep, never rest. The White Eye. Me. Okay, I see why she was using it. She's keeping herself awake then. For 10 years I've been awake, training day and night to gain the strength I have now. The strength to shield my people. Of course, another must receive the awareness I cast aside. The Shut-Eye. You matter, in fact. Ilzanique. As I've been awake these 10 years, she spent the better part of her days in a deep slumber. Her brief periods of wakefulness are spent exercising and eating so her body doesn't waste away. That is a stupid way to use a relic, I'm sorry. And so, we've barely spoken despite how much I depend on her. When we were young, we'd spend our days exploring the mountain paths, but that time is long past. Telling you all this now, I realize how very little of my life has been dedicated to my own pursuits. Ilzanique and I both have devoted ourselves entirely to the protection of our village. One moment. That explains your skill. How did Leofin steal her artifact from such an accomplished warrior? Don't you miss Ilzanique? I do. I seek her only when I have to use the cradle. And even then she is sleeping. I barely remember what her smile looks like. A life unencumbered by sleep might seem like a life of freedom. But if those who care about it for most aren't there to share it with you, it can feel like a prison. But we don't have the luxury to dwell on regrets. I see now that although my people never used the cradle for ill, wicked hearts can twist anything towards evil. And that's something I can't tolerate. The very thought that this might happen again makes the bile churn in my gullet. We must bring Leofin's schemes to an end. Between sleep and death, Tentola has a worried expression on his face. Just the person I want to see. I'd like to ask you advice on a certain matter, if you don't mind. It's been a while since my last letter to Ilzanique. I wanted to wait until I discovered something worth sharing to write her, but we're still completely in the dark. I don't want her to worry, but I don't know what to tell her. Whatever you write, don't make her wait too long. I know how that's like to miss someone you love. Good advice as usual. I wish we had even a single thread to grasp, but an exciting letter is better than none at all. Alright, I'll start right away. I might not have much time left. What do you mean? Oh, don't understand. It's nothing so grave as that. It's just... The last time I used the cradle was just before it was stolen. Luckily, I'm still as alert as I've ever been, but it won't be long until I must dream like any other. Oh, so time is catching up to you, huh? Then we'll give Leofin free rein while I'm helpless in bed. There is no quarry more dangerous than the one who doesn't sleep. We have to see this through before this happens. Master Krug, Master Tetola, we have received reports from that several groups of temple knights have fallen afoul of what can only be your stolen artifact. Several. Let me guess. They were all guarding someone else? You'd be correct. It is the duty of a knight to protect those who cannot protect themselves. If you fail with even the most basic function, then our honor means nothing. As if the incident near Camp Dragonhood was not shameful enough, the knights in these most recent attacks were left in quite compromising positions. Yeah, jeez. Oh god. What? Oh. Yet the weight of embarrassment is the trifle compared to the guilt it would bear if any innocent came to harm. The Fury was merciful in that respect, but we would rather not see these incidents repeat. Still, while the Temple Knights must work to repair their reputation in the days ahead, this is a far cry from bringing Ishgard crumbling to its knees. Truth be told, the methods of the Battle Bound leave me mystified. But Leofine was cunning, if nothing else. Till we can discern her true motivations, we have little recourse but to wait until she makes some mistakes. She may be testing the limit of the artifact's powers. Then you suggest she has a greater purpose in mind for it? And these incidents are simply a prelude. We cannot discount that fury, you admit. We shall remain vigilant. No, that's not what I said. She could be using it for petty reasons, but she's testing how far she can take those petty reasons. Gah. There's no telling how much chaos she can sow if left unchecked. We have to do everything we can to get the cradle out of her clutches. And to do that, we have to start asking the right questions. This new information makes me wonder, why was she focusing her attention on the Temple Knights? I have pondered the same. Posted at Camp Dragonhood are knights from many houses of repute, including House Voltzems. Being a former Temple Knight herself, Leofine doubtless knows their habits and training. Perhaps that makes it easier for her to exploit their weaknesses. Then if we follow the knights, we may pick up her trail. It's not ideal, but it's the best we have to go on. Well, a large contingent of knights has but recently been dispatched through Kurfus. You remember Gugani Mills, yes? It has lain abandoned ever since the heretics were driven from it. Yet there is ever the risk that unsavory elements might infest it once again. Nix! Hey! Thus has the Temple and his band joined the patrols of its premises with other contingents. If you speak with Sir Redwald at Falcon's Nest, I'm certain he would be glad to have you along. Hey, I'm good. I'm doing the final of the rogue quest, the tank quest line. Yeah. I've been saving on it since tank was the first. Since warrior was the first tank I ever did in the game with Mrawa'a here. I figured I would do it as a final one. Like I say, quote unquote, not to when I first started playing the game back in 2023. And this is the outfit I went with. Well, I've paused the story until I finished the rogue quest, so once I finish this I'm going back to the story. When last we left off, well, we lost Gulu Jaja. Yeah, red and blue is like typically a good way to go about with colors, and I always was a fan of the pince nez ever since I saw them in Dazumal Darkhold. Add the Knight of Devilry gloves or gauntlets or wristlets. Hard to say which is which. The Techo pants and the Field Commander boots. This is the set. I only wish I was able to dye the pants to give them like a darker shade of black. Yeah. Of course, there's the Asuran headband and the Manderville Great Axe. And the earrings you get when you start in Ul'dah. Oh no, Stasi outfit. Now we're going to Falcon's Rest, so gonna take the seat right here and make my way over. This should be a short stream because I'm just doing a rogue quest, and then I'm gonna be going over to help a friend with MSQ because they're doing some stuff in Dawntrail as well. Funny enough, also Makote. There is Secret Rotundo. Over to Redwold. Redwold O'Bean, it's been a while. How's your kid? Is that Master Krug, I see? Of course. You are ever welcome in Falcon's Nest. Yet I believe I do not know your companion here. Certainly not one of the Scions. How's your day been, Nix? Indeed, whispers of the Temple Knight's humiliations have reached us even here. Falling asleep while on duty, I dare not believe the stories, but it seems there was truth to them after all. They fell asleep, true, but it wasn't their fault. We suspect they fell victim to an enemy wielding a powerful artifact. Oh, that's awesome. Well, better late than never, as everyone usually says. Now, the rumors failed to mention anything like that. If it can lull even trained warriors sleep, then we must treat it as a serious threat. Nevertheless, if one knight falls, another is always at the ready to take their place. So long as the artifact cannot put an entire regiment under its spell, I believe we are well positioned to combat it. Interesting. The idea of your allies falling in battle doesn't seem to disturb you at all. Where I hail from, a single warrior is responsible for the safety of his entire village. That is such a stupid way to go about it, seriously. You need to have someone in reserves. Make no mistake, we do not doubt our allies' mettle, and we mourn every loss. Yet each man and woman here knows that if they must quit the battle, another sword just as fierce will take their place. To know that an ally is at your back, it will allow you to fight with abandon. Yeah, like Loseneque maybe? Now, you believe this Lefin might take interest in activities at Golgani Mills, yes? But he has already left, accompanied by a group of Temple Knights. If your suspicions are correct, then they are at risk. Arrest the chief, follow in their tracks, and ensure that they have not fallen victim to a foul play. The mills can be found to the north, just across the Black Iron Bridge. The party should be arriving there soon, conditions permitting. We have to reach them before Lufina does. It's Lufine. Alright, go to me! Yippee! Come on, Hans. We've got a mill to go to. Ah, the snowy terrain. Oddly fitting given that it's December now. By the way, Nick, something I've been doing along the way while we're doing these, I've been drawing Mrawa'a in the different jobs he was in, and the outfits he was wearing for the quests. So here we have them from left to right. We got Red Mage for the casting, Dancer for the ranged. Here's Mrawa'a in his tank, of course, as the warrior. Ninja for the melee. Yeah, I draw from time to time. I used to draw a lot more, but I kind of stopped after a while. I kind of got an art block, and 2023 happened, and I kind of lost myself in Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you. Of course, here's my white mage. I used the lunar, I think. Yeah, I think I was using the lunar for that one. I also, I guess you didn't see it. I also have like I made like an opening art thing that I do every time I start the game on Mondays. Mrawa'a with Stormageddon over here on their big adventure. I'm pondering on whether I will do like a second art piece for when I get to the patches, since he'll be wearing a different outfit then. I am thinking of wearing the Viper set. We're too late. They're fast asleep. But Rebel gave the impression there were more. These knights must have been the lookouts. We should awaken them, but keep your eyes peeled to little Fenton. Arouse these ones. Mrawa'a, you search for the building yonder. I'm also thinking when 8.0 comes out that I'll be doing that with my character that I'm using on the North American servers. You know, for easier access. What the hell's are you? How'd you get past the gods? Uh-oh. That way I can get to interact with more people, because at this hour people are likely busy. Ah. Down they go. Ahem. Ahem. How's Durandal, Scout? It's you! In fact, the Fury, you arrived when you did! These fogs struck when our backs were turned. I assumed the Temple Knights were protecting the entrance, so wasn't as cautious as I should have been. Were they killed? Worse, they were put to sleep by an artifact. Sleeping? I've heard the stories, of course, but I didn't think they were true. Whoever is behind us, I'm sure they didn't count on you showing up. For now, we shall tend to our wounds, and then finish our inspection here. Master Krug, I ask that you join the knights outside and wait until we've finished. And there comes our rogue? Ninja? Oh, damn. Ooh. Ah, as I thought. Just when I was becoming bored, I sighted a familiar face among these slumbering knights. I simply had to come and make sure it was you. You finally found the courage to show yourself. Hand over the cradle now and I won't kill you. Ah, you're fighting a rogue, she's fast. Did she call you again, the White Eye? You must have had quite the journey to come this far. Hand over the artifact. Be careful, Mrawa'a. This is our quarry. The thief who stole the cradle of the sleepless. This is Lofin. Uh-huh. That is your ally? Wear their nimble hands. They may seek your artifact for themselves. I don't need that kind of doping. I have Mother's blessing. It matters not, I suppose. Before you both throw your lives away, I suggest you think for a moment. Is the cause you fight for worth the sacrifice? So few of us know true freedom. Is there aught you would grasp with your own hands? Do so before they wither and your eyes shut for the last time. The codes and rules that bind men are mere illusions. Open your eyes, truly open them, and you shall see a path of your own. Only a fool would waste their life to struggle on of another. The struggle there. Leofin, you literally chose to be a knight, and you fell on you during your duty. The worst thing they did to you was fire you. You had a chance to start over somewhere and decided to be a thief. Quit spouting nonsense. You were a capable knight. You literally could have been a sellsword, a mercenary, or a teacher. Nonsense. Perhaps. I'm here because of another, after all. A Byahi, who came to me at the height of my debauchery and welcomed me into her devious brotherhood. She guided me to the great power, yes, and now lead others upon the unbound path. Oh my gosh, she's a true believer. Yet, truth be told, I have little interest in seeing where it ends. To tear down the world's nations, Ishgard among them, and usher the world into, well, what does it matter? Yet I do derive great pleasure in shaming the temple knights and seeing the snickers and jeers that deflate their pompous stride as they walk down the streets. If this artifact can hasten their fall from grace, I believe I should keep it. Limit breaker! I know the path I walk. The one that leads to your downfall. Okay, this is a fun fact that I noticed. And you've noticed it too, probably. Tento uses the Highlander poses and stuff. Even though he uses the Midlander skeleton. And I won't abandon it. I'll take the cradle back. And then I'll... No. Oh dear, you seem to have lost your train of thought. I know you cannot hear me, but if you want the artifact back, I might suggest you steal it from me while I'm asleep. But considering the burden I have just passed to you, the opportunity may not come for some time yet. Yep, He's focusing, but on... Okay, but there has to be a limit to this, right? Actually, he's able to cast it on a lot of people, but so far it's been 3 people. Why, I feel absolutely transcendent to think the shackles of fatigue weighed so heavily. Alas, it appears the artifact needs its own repose of sorts. No matter, I've learned more than enough to take my next step. Okay, she and the ninja from the melee DPS questline seem to be like the most composed and aware of the limits. See to it that this is bold stuff. This least you can do for the freedom I have given you. Oh no, whatever will I do? I guess I'm gonna fight and die a brave warrior's death. Oh no. I think I accidentally killed that bird over there. Tetoa! Tetoa! Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey! Tries your might to rouse Tetoa. He seems completely detached from the waking world. It looks like you've saved the source today, thank you. But what of him? Fast asleep, just as we were. Could this be what's the firmament? Firmament warned us of in his report? I see. Then it's those stories. Then those stories are more than just wicked rumors. I suppose there's some small comfort in the fact that our enemy tipped their hand without causing loss of life. Well, the downside, drowsiness made my eyes heavy. My ears could not mistake Little Fiend's arrogant voice. If she would not scruple to attack former comrades in arms, then she has fallen further than I had dared imagine. Yet we bear the blame for allowing her to get the upper hand, and in so doing put innocent lives in danger. Another black mark on our order. It's only thanks to you and your companion's efforts that the snow was not stained in red this day. At the very least, allow us to carry him to the congregation. Our work here is done, so we shall accompany them as far as Falcon's Nest. Mrawa'a, pray return to Ishgard and look after your friend. I do wish they had French voice actors or French accented voice actors for the Ishgardians. Oh well. So glad I might see you as well, Master Krug. I understand you come fresh from an encounter with none other than Leofin. As the Tento now rests on the second floor, we shall stand vigil by his side every moment until he opens his eyes again. We should not have long to wait, but if you wish to check on him, please do so at your leisure. There is no matter to discuss. Just before your departure to the Gorgani Mills, it seems there was another incident. A group of criminals were released from their cells. The guards found in a deep sleep. Doubtless Lilfin was behind it. And doubtless the ruffians you clashed with were these self-same criminals. Lilfin is gathering those who bear a grudge against the Temple Knights by her side and using the animosity by her to her advantage. And unlike the others, she's kind of using this opportunity to do actual physical damage to people. We now know for certain that Lilfin is the mastermind of these attacks, and her aim is to chip away at the very foundation of the Temple Knights, our honor. When I shared these revelations with my superiors, decided that none would speak publicly of the artifact and its powers. I understand. The passage of the Unbound seeks to overthrow the nations of the world. One obvious method is achieving this goal would be to obstruct the flames of unrest among the common folk, thus sinking Gashgard into the mire of chaos and distrust, not unlike the blasphemies of the final days. So long as the failures are placed squarely on the shoulders of the Temple Knights, we can avoid fomenting a more abiding mistrust in the nation's very core. For which God's peace, I would gladly suffer any disgrace. The nation remains. Actually, wait a second, I have an idea.
The nation remains as to whether. The question remains as to whether we can apprehend Delphine before she tears our reputation to tatters. While Master Tentola slumbers, it falls to us to search for clues that might point towards her whereabouts. Aha! The classic cup method.
Beacon in the darkness. Film a bear. His eyes light up when he sees you.
Delphine remains elusive as ever. If she is in league with Ishgard's more unsavory elements, she could be hidden anywhere. We have only her cryptic statements to guide us. It seems that whatever her plan is, her actions thus far have been but a prelude to its climax. We can but hope that Tentola awakens before she emerges again.
Mrawa'a, there you are. Was it? Well. What brings you here, young lady? I'm so glad I found you. I was starting to think I was in the wrong city, but the Naro gotta be true.
Oh, you must be the maiden Tentola mentioned. You are from the same village, yes? I'm Finlabear, of the Temple Knights. It is an honor to meet you.
Tento wrote about you in his letters. I'm Lozikwe, and the honors are all mine. Is Tento with you? I haven't received a letter from him for some time, so I came here to check on him myself. Oh no, he hasn't slept in a decade. He has big EP energy. Or as we like to call it, a coma. You insufferable fool! What have I always told you about rushing ahead without thinking? Now you even have the gall to be sleeping while I arrive? You promised you'd write to me. What was I supposed to do when the letters stopped coming? They won't stop coming and it won't stop coming. Actually, technically they stopped coming, so never mind. I was so worried. At At least I can take some small comfort that he appears otherwise unarmed. I take it you're to thank for that, Mrawa'a? Uh, Example that is more than like. Is there any way to counteract the Grail's influence? Can one stay awake forever by sheer force of will? The answer is the same. Although we can deny ourselves food and of drink. Sleep is another matter. I always find us... It always finds us in time. What are you talking about? You can't deny food and water. You actually need those to survive. And to rouse oneself from a slumber this deep is an impossible task. Even for someone like Tantoa. Okay, so he is in a coma.
Do you know why Tantoa sleeps so soundly? Reports of other incidents indicated that those affected awoke in a matter of moments. Yet Tantoa shows no signs of stirring.
Well, that... I'm sorry. I can't say for certain. But I do know the stories of those who came before me. More than one Shaddai has fallen into a sleep much like this. One so absolute that they become deaf to the outside world. With no means to sustain their bodies, they would waste away if left alone. So our people found a mixture of herbs and other materials that help usher the Shaddai back to the waking world. Drugs. They gave them drugs.
What could possibly be strong enough to bring someone back from this?
We call it the Spring Dew, and the secrets of it making are passed down through the generations. Each drop acts as a ray of sunshine in the darkness of sleep, a beacon for their dreamers to follow. Dayquil? Wait, is Dayquil the morning drug? I carry some of the ingredients in my person, but others must be gathered fresh. It won't be an easy task, but I'm certain it will save Tantoa. I don't know their origin name, but one of the flowers blooms a striking yellow and grows only where the mountain peaks soar above the clouds. Being so close to the heavens, it drinks from in the sunlight, and the petals cleanse the body and promote wakefulness. In the churning mist blooms a yellow flower called the dandelion.
In the churning mist blooms a yellow flower called the dandelion. In no other place in Oza can one be closer to touch the sun.
Good. Next, we'll need the saliva of a beast we call morbos. The thicker it is, the better. Okay, so morbo is a universal name. Got it. The pungent odor could wake the dead.
I know them well. Morbos are not an uncommon sight in Trevanian hinterlands. A mature specimen should possess saliva with the desired effect. The prospect of gathering it, however, is an enviable task.
Once we have those two ingredients, mixing them with theirs should be a simple matter. You think you could procure them, Mrawa'a? You can count on me, lass. Oh, your confidence is reassuring. Since the morbo saliva must be the fresher of the two, I ask that you first climb the heavens. Pick dandelions for Tantoa.
We shall watch over Tantoa while we return.
Let's go. Okay, so churning mists. Nope. Wait. Alright. Should have got to Zenith. Oh well. We're flying. Yippee! I've been thinking of getting a second monitor, so I don't have to do excessive shenanigans to be able to see stream chat. No, I don't really want to get it if I don't need it. No, I gotta go back to not being silly. Really spaced out. Next week, I believe I'll be getting to Zone 4. Yes, 4. No, 5. Zone 5. And then somewhere down the line, Zone 6. Why is my brain being so smooth right now? kind of wish we had like different options for stances and movements with weapons. Like maybe walking while dragging the axe on the ground. You know, for your intimidation factor. I'm ready to start mixing the ingredients at once. That is, of course, assuming you brought them with you. Here you go. My lady. These are difficult to acquire at the best of times, so I thank you for gathering them so quickly. I should get started immediately. We've done all we can. Now we wait for Tento to open his eyes. Open your eyes! Huh? Where am I? I hope you enjoy sleeping for the days away, Tentoa. And I'm glad you're finally awake. Luzanique, what are you doing here? My friend's experiencing his issues. I see, so Leofin wielded the cradle against me. And I was tucked soundly in bed. Luzanique came out this way. Curse my weakness! Just when we had her! Just when I was needed the most, I failed! For 10 years I endured countless trials, and when the time came, I couldn't even swing my damn weapon! It's not your fault, Tintola. If anyone's to blame for what happened, it's me. No, I won't hear it. As you may know, Leofin won our trust by posing as a scholar traveling the wild and breadth of Doral. She expressed great interest in the cradle and our customs, and I was so excited to meet an outsider that I answered her every question. I told her that the White Eye keeps the cradle with them at all times, and then she hatched her plan. She took me hostage to Drow Tentoa. While Zanique was sleeping, Lufina snuck into her chamber and held a blade to her throat. I had no choice but to give her what she wanted, the cradle of the sleepless. I put Zanique's life before the future of her people. It was at that moment I became unfit to be their guardian. Loznique is one of your people. Protecting her was your duty. Thank you, Mrawa'a. You know just what to say. That was the only way to see a future where none of my people came to harm, especially Zonique. Even without the cradle, you're still our guardian, my guardian. Just guess already! We'll find a way through this together. Seeing you in such high spirits lifts my own. Oh, and before I forget, you trounced Luffy's thugs while I was dreaming in the snow, didn't you? I did. I won't soon forget. And I wager the debt will grow larger before we pry the treasure from Luffy's clutches. But whatever it takes, I won't stop until she's answered for her crimes. While I was sleeping, I dreamed. As low as Nick and I as children, nothing really interesting happened. We just whiled away the days without caring the world. I'd forgotten what it was like to dream. It was pleasant. I don't dream, I sleep. I can remember wanting to stay there, to never open my eyes again. But of course, the moment I gave a form to that thought, I opened them, and Lozanique was there. Even if we get the cradle back, will things return to the way they were? Will you go back to spending your life in dreams? I suppose so. It is my duty as shut-eye, after all. Your duty. It was your duty, too, that compelled you to come all the way here to the Gishgard. But no more. What are you saying? I tried so hard to convince myself that you were glad spending so much time asleep, but being on the other side made me realize I was lying to myself all along. I don't want to return to a life where you and I are bound together but always so far apart. I want to go back to those days, those happy days, when we were by each other's sides. Proposal? Marriage? I guess what I'm saying is, if there's a different path for us, I want to fight it, and I want to walk it with you. I ship it. But not yet. First, we're gonna claim the cradle, and when we have, we'll take our first steps towards the new future. I promise. I must confess that my loneliness, I haven't felt the same since I woke up. I know I was in the bed for a while, but instead of feeling refreshed, my body feels weaker somehow. It's almost as if my very strength was sapped when the treasure was turned on me. I can't even grip my weapon properly. Luffy didn't remark that she felt invigorated. Maybe she took your vitality for herself. Then does that mean the Grail has powers we don't even know about? Oh boy. Not exactly. It may just mean the Cradle works differently than we thought. Its wielder might not pass on the fatigue, rather, they absorb another's vigor. The end effect would be the same. The Cradle's wielder can go on without sleep, and his victim loses the strength to even keep their eyes open. You never took more than you needed, so my slumber was always light enough to waken from. But if the treasure was used without restraint, if we've had this realization, it won't be long until Delphine does too, and then it will be too late. We have to root her out. But I mustn't rush ahead blindly, as Lozanique never tires of telling me. I feel nearly weak as a child right now. I must spend what precious time we have training to regain what strength Delphine stole from me. You have my word, I won't rest until I'm on top form again. I suggest that you do the same, if for no other reason than to give me some stiff competition. Awakened, not stirred. Tensoro appears healthier, but there's still a hint of weariness in his expression. Oh there. You're looking strong, Mrawa'a. Wow, I'm not my old self yet. I'm feeling better by the day. Still, there's much work to be done. I need to be even better than I was before if we're to have any hope of catching Lofin. I wonder what she's plotting with the rest of her cohorts. We know they aim to topple nations around the world, but this is an odd way to go about it, don't you think? Yeah, when you think about it, it's just embarrassing an entire knighthood is not gonna do that much. It is kind of like petty vengeance for her. Why haven't their prestige and Edgeguard extended any farther than the Temple Knights? We've pondered the same question. Our best guess was that as former Temple Knight herself, she chose them because she knows how to exploit their weaknesses. Know thy enemy. She's using her knowledge as her weapon, and we need to equip ourselves likewise if we can learn more about her. We might be able to anticipate her next move. A good plan, but I admit I have no idea where to start. Should we ask Firmalber? I already have. He said that while he never knew her personally, the knights in her old squadron might be able to shed light onto her past. Some of them even now patrol the city, and Firmalber was a great help in telling me where they might be. You've been busy, Losanique. I can't remember the last time I was awake this long. I didn't know what to sit around. I didn't want to sit around until I got tired again. Oh man, I'm getting hungry. And we're all better for it. Since you've gathered information, it's only fitting that I should go do the legwork. Just tell me where these knights are and I'll speak with them. Gladdy, but Ishka is still an unfamiliar city to both of us, right? The friend of the bear told me where to go. The names of these places mean nothing to me. Luckily, we have Mrawa'a to guide you. You go with Tentoa, won't you? You can count on me. I know we can count on you. Alright. Take note of these locations. Being forced to work with someone like Delphine isn't a fate I would envy. I'm curious to hear what these knights have to say about her. Hopefully they provide insight that will help us guide us forward. Time is of the essence, Mrawa'a. Let's get moving. Run, boy, run. The city's not made for you. Run, boy, run. Hey, Andalou. Now this is a rare privilege. What a business could the savior of Ishgard have with a humble knight? You want to know about Delphine? Well, many Temple Knights come from common stock, but she was different. Despite what she became, Delphine was born of noble blood. Even so, she often made mock of Ishgard's customs and the responsibilities that bound the conduct of noble families. Doubtless she yearned for freedom all her life, her idea of it anyways. Though her deeds caused her to be expelled from the Temple Knights and summarily stripped of her title, she may have actually desired that outcome. If she hadn't did so much here, all she had to do was leave. Agreed. I hear she did leave for a time at least. Now she is in league with a group that aims to plunge the world into chaos. If a selfish heart like Delphine was sought out to aid this plot, I shudder to imagine how wicked their leader must be. Looks at the camera like it's the office. This whole city is in the charge of the Temple Knights, isn't it? There's no way a single warrior could defend it. While I don't doubt their honor as a whole, it is inevitable that a rotten seed like Elfine would eventually find its way into the ranks. Oh, Tentoa! Oh, Tentoa, my friend. Oh, Tentoa. Until recently, I always believed our remote corner of Mrawa'a was the safest place in the world. But if danger can find us even there, I'm not sure what to think of anymore. I've heard that the people of Ishgard revere a warrior god, but here's a statue of a flesh and blood knight. I've never seen such a thing. My people make no figures or depictions of our departed, fearing that such objects would keep them from finding their way to the next world. The only item we keep is the cradle of the sleepless. And thanks to his blessings, the White Eye has always watched over us. So our reverence is devoted solely to the narwhal. It is noted that it guides our people safely to the next sunrise. Always quiet, even so, must remain vigilant. Lofine, a name spoken of in the hushed whispers now, but many have forgotten hers. For strategic genius, she had a singular talent for achieving victory in battle by whatever means necessary. Genius? Maybe we were just too dense to see how her actions would cause Ishgard to collapse. Given that her group seemed relatively few in number, an assault on Ishgard is unlikely. Rather, I think her aim is to chip away at the people's trust in Ishgard's foundation, and by the absence of a few vital bricks, bring the whole nation tumbling down. The thought gives me worry. Even now, representatives from Ishgard are preparing to visit Ogzundu in the Sea of Clouds. If anything were to go wrong, it would be a grievous blow to Ishgard's reputation. As we saw at Falcon's Nest, certain elements that oppose our nation see friendly gestures as a chance to spark conflict. Given recent developments, Lulu has been debating whether to visit is a wise choice. I see. Yeah, the Falcon's Nest back in the post-Halloween War patch was hell of a time. Really messed our warrior up. We couldn't drink a drink in a hot minute. To require aid, I must keep watch, so forgive me if I don't engage in idle chit-chat. It's about Delphine. Delphine! For her, I can spare a moment. I don't suppose you know why she was expelled from the Temple Knights, do you? While few were her equal in swordplay and few were still handled their mounts for such grace, she outspent her nights carousing in the gambling halls. It was after just such a night that she fell asleep while on duty. Some may call it a crude twist of fate, but dragons attacked her charges as she slept, and they were left defenseless. In her negligence, she was deemed to have aided our ancestral foe, and thus was stripped of her knighthood and noble title both. Oh my god. These idiots. Knights falling asleep on duty, a story that's become all too familiar. Given what happened, I've no doubt she came to fear sleep. Yet now she has conquered the weakness, and she wields it as a weapon against us. She may even believe herself to be beyond the reach of mortal danger. Yet she only deluded herself, and in time she'll be able to answer for her deeds. She'll be made to answer for her deeds. Well, we have a general understanding of what drives our adversary, stories that paint a picture of a rotten, conniving soul. Must be haunting the Lord Commander. The Lord Commander, I contest the leader of these Temple Knights. While fancy titles hold little interest to me, I sympathize with anyone who had to give orders to a rotten apple like Leofin. Giving the Temple Knights a warning is the least we could do. It's clear that this delegation, was it, might prove an enticing target for Leofin. Finally, we have knowledge to use against our enemy. If we all work together, we might be able to trap her. We haven't much time. Let's return to the congregation and tell this Hallelu what we know. You are ever welcome to the congregation, Mrawa'a. I am well apprised of Leofin's wicked deeds, and your efforts to flush her out have been much appreciated. And this must be Master Tentola, who crossed the ocean from Tural. I hope you have recovered from your ordeal. I'm better than ever. Apologies for taking up one of your beds for so long. Please, no apologies are required. On the contrary, the Temple Knights yet owe you a debt for all you've done. Which brings us to the purpose of this visit. You had something to discuss with me? I see you and I had the same thoughts. The delegation to Yogg-Sundu would be an obvious target for Leofin. I was but recently debating the wisdom of moving forward with our plan. As you know, all Vishgard falls under the protection of the Temple Knights. As such, it is only meet that we maintain this strict and friendly relations with our neighbors. The delegation in question is tasked with deepening our mutual understanding of each of our unique cultures. Sorovanu, chief of the Zuntu, was most eager to host. Yet, so long as the spectre of Leofin hangs over our heads, of our order, a fear visits abroad are unwise. Should any of the Vanu come to harm, our relations could be damaged irreparably. As we have no way of knowing if Leofin has caught wind of our plans, I am of the mind that postponing the delegation may be the most prudent course of action for the safety of all. The safety of all! The Zundu will be safe under our watch. That's right. Mrawa'a and I won't let anyone come to harm. And as long as you warn the Vanu in advance, they shouldn't hold the actions of a rogue against you. If they're truly your allies, they'll see the wisdom in your judgment. Please, send the delegation as planned. It'll be our best chance to capture Leofin. Yes, our words have merit. Thank you for the stage council. You're right, Zundu would not stand idly by while we suffer at Leofin's hand. In fact, the fellowship between our two peoples was forged when a god assaulted the home was brought low by a great hero, Mrawa'a. That takes me back. If we tell the Zundu that he is keeping watch over the proceedings, then I am certain all doubts shall be quelled. Okay, how do we mess this up? Then you proceed. Indeed, the time has come for we Temple Knights to reclaim our honor and to go on our counter-offensive. I shall bring the suggestion of a joint oppression against Leofin to the Lord Commander as soon as possible. Thank you. Together, we'll put a stop to her scheme. I first must discuss matters with the others involved before we present our plan to the Lord Commander. Although time is of the essence, I ask that you wait a while until our course is settled. I realize now that I agreed to defend the people I know next to nothing about. Some of these Zundu will soon be visiting. They're like the Hanu, if even more of a penchant for metaphor. Really? Two groups of such people so far apart. The world really is full of surprises. Distant cousins, one might say. Even a single city is enough for a lifetime. Every day I hear something that gives me food for thought. Like the story of the Dragon Song War, for instance, generations of animosity between dragon and man. At some point they rekindled friends fellowship. I imagine a whole world like that. A world where there'd be no need for protectors. And why die? Well, it's not only the monsters in the wilderness, but our neighbors as well. We've barely even considered sending delegations outside our village gate. And the cold snap only made things worse. With everyone struggling just to survive, our every thought goes towards defending our scarce resources. If we only look forward with wariness, there's no hope for the future to change. No hope to build trust. If only there was a way to bridge the distance between us and a great tomorrow hand in hand. Have a delegation. But maybe that's just a silly dream. Maybe either way, it's a beautiful thought. I'm glad you think so. I'll hold to that future in mind as I get back to training. As for you, Mrawa'a, get some rest. If you fall asleep when I need you most, I'll wake you up with a knock to the head. Oh gee, thank you. Dreams of a new day. The door is eager to set a trap for Lufin. So the Loops still hasn't said word. I guess the others might not be so enthusiastic about the plan. But then the creator of sleepiness is naturally still something to be feared, no matter how much faith they have in our strength. You'd be at Leofin's mercy if she put you to sleep. Honestly, I don't blame them. Not even I imagined our treasure could be used for such evil. In Leofin's hands, it's no more than an indiscriminate weapon. Huh? But that means when we get it back, we can turn it into something else. Something no one's ever thought of before. We can find a way to use it without forcing someone to spend their life in slumber. Of course, I hear with you, Tintoa. We have more pressing matters, namely a rogue knight to capture and a treasure to recover. You're right. Sorry, I gotta have myself. Hello. Apologies for keeping you waiting for long. The Temple Knights have finally reached a decision concerning the delegation to the Sea of Clouds. And what have you decided? I'm pleased to say that Sundu have agreed to join forces with us. Together we shall drive back the Leofine should she attack. If her shadow darkens even the realm of their homeland, a peaceful delegation shall turn into a fighting force at a moment's notice. We shall restore the Temple Knight's reputation and recover your artifact in one fell swoop. Thank you, Hallelu. We promise to do our part. If the Leofine shows herself, she won't get away with it this time. We have but to hammer out the finer details. Once we are ready to depart, the first group of knights shall leave by airship. I would ask you both to make your way to Oxundu as soon as possible, so you may help plan our strategy. I'm counting on you. I can heal your wounds, and if it comes to it, my staff can bruise as well as the club. Haha! Healer! Healer! I'm glad to have you with us. I'm done taking on the world alone. I need you, Lozingway. And Mrawa'a too. We're stronger together than we could ever be apart. The Cradle never could have been stolen if I'd realized that from the beginning. And I want you by my side to ensure I don't forget that. Well then, we better be off. I'm keen to meet this chief of Sonovalu. We're on the floating island! What a fantastic little cast could be found in Norzia. Their graceful dances belies their bulk. Can they fly too? No, they can't. But that'd be cool if they could. Mounts aside. Honored Netherling, you return to Oxundu is as welcome as the arrival of spring. So who knows why you have come. Wicked hearts seem to bring chaos to our home. And so the Zundu shall rise to its defense if needed. As the sun rays chase away the shadows of night, the Sundrop dance shall keep the tendrils of sleep at bay. Chief Sonovano, it's an honor to meet you. I'm Tentoa. If this Sundrop dance is as invigorating as you say, I'd love to see it for myself. The Zundu shall dance before Ishgar's warriors upon their arrival. Brave Tentoa is welcome to join the proceedings. That was your original intent, right? I see. If we're to draw Lufin out, it makes sense to pretend like nothing's amiss. Zundu warriors unify their strength for the Sundrop dance, and the sight is so fearsome that many choose to flee rather than fight. Netherling warriors may learn much from such an approach. Breaking the enemy's spirit avoids needless bloodshed. Yet all dancers must hone their skills before wild animals first. that the sun drop dance does not fall them at the most fail them at the most crucial moment. It is for that reason our dancers await at the outskirts of Sogsundu for the Netherlings' arrival. When the performance begins, it shall draw the attention of all like rolling cloud coming over the horizon. Watch carefully for any who would take advantage of that moment. After the dance finished, Netherlings will present an Oxundu with Chief Zonu! Netherling ship appears in the skies like sudden sun shower, hurtling towards Earth. Swiftly it descends, crashing down near Zundu dancers. Ship's markings are Ishgardian. Zundu on their hood, but wounded Netherlings pour from vessel. Like a lightning bolt in the night, Leofin strikes. The Temple Knights were coming by airship, right? All Leofin had to do was lull the pilot to sleep. She saw right through us, and now we're on the back foot. Great winds can alter even a raging river, of course. What matters is to stand strong and move forward. And now we must offer aid to the Netherlings, who come as guests. Right, let's go. Is the work of the cradle. Leofin can't be far. We must stand to the wounded, but I won't let her escape again. Descends today, one way or another. Descends. One way descends. Oh dear. There they are. Oh, she's got a griffin. There you are, Leofin. You came all this way just to greet me? Oh, I am honored. I only hope my gift was satisfactory. It is a shame you will not see Ishgard crumble. Alas, I can scarcely suffer rats to scurry about my feet, threatening no way at my carefully laid plans. At least you bear witness to the dying breath of the Temple Knights, flagging honor. You would sooner see that wicked wrecked airship soar again, and the reputation return to its former glory. Yet even I do not foresee that the Sundu would be in the airship's path. The fury favors me, for who now would trust a nation so careless as to put their neighbors at risk? Everyone knows you're behind this. People won't turn on each other so easily. But society... Oh, I didn't see you there. The shut-eye, what a wait. Doubly honored I am that you came all this way just to meet you again. Meet your end. Enough. We're taking the cradle back. We won't let your evil continue any longer. Such bold words. If I recall correctly, your people reaped great benefits from this artifact of ours, all at the cost of someone's waking life. Yours. Pray, do not understand me. That was not meant to be a denouncement of your people. On the contrary, they have my utmost respect. We are bound by our very nature. No matter how mighty we become, we are slaves to the whims of sleep. If This artifact can sunder those shackles and grant true freedom. It makes its wielder stronger and their enemies weak. A perfect weapon if you ask me. I can't say whether using the cradle is right or wrong. I only know that a life lived at the cost of another is no life at all. You're right about one thing. We are bound by our nature, but it doesn't shackle us. It brings us together. And whether I'm asleep or awake, as long as Ozlinkwe is by my side, that's all the life I want. We'll take the cradle back together. She's exhausted the cradle's power on the Temple Knights. This is our chance! A place without wrinkles, I suppose. Fortunately prepared for all contingencies. Muscle to me! Bound. Leofine then chivalrous. Smirk. He had an opportunity to live a quiet life, but I will not give it. But I will not give it again. This time I shall send you on to a slumber from which you will never wake. You had that same opportunity, you vengeful jerk! Back to Grill, take it back! Oh, bless that as usual. Take it if you dare. Okay. Let's kill these fools. Dance. Okay, so what can I do Witness the Sundown Traps. Dance. Little like warriors awaken. And they're up. Alright. Come on, Leofine. Come on. Everyone's awake. Mighty Zundu protect Netherling warriors. Keep caution like Gelcat. Under stormy skies. Hey, now you're alone. Says now, Leofine. Why am I cursed with incompetence? Very well. Dance with me, White Eye. Oh, you're gonna dance with me. They are exposed with power. It begs to be released. Now you shut your eyes for the final time. Take a glimpse of the waking world. A last glimpse of the waking world. Nice. Oh, sleepy. This piece of wood is for protection? Such a quaint sentiment. I love winning! Oh, damn. We gotta get in the way! I'm in a move! Come on, you. Why don't you fix the door? It's your duty as the White Eye. I was asleep. Yeah. I owe you all my life. Thank you. Soon to go to help allies. I set fear of wins. Guide you to victory. Oh, this is horrible. How are they doing this? I am far from finished. You will not withstand this. I will be bound no more. We'll in fact be bound again. I will die trying. go. Down. You troublemaker. There. How about your personal freedom and no one else's? This is why you suck. And she's down. No, not quite out. Impressive. You stubborn. You have one today. This is not over. Yes, it is. Uh-oh. Tensola, watch out! I've got... Oh. Damn fool. Now! No! Stay good, that little thing. Well, she's either dead or Griffin is really loyal. The wide eye watches eternal, and eternal is the sleep it bestows. We finally stopped her! Yes, but we have someone else to worry about. I will remember. Mrawa'a, wake up! Are you alright? Only he would smile at a time like this. Mrawa'a kinda needed that sleep. Wake up, Mrawa'a. Get awake! I had the most amazing dream. I wasn't in a throuple, I was in a quadruple. My wife was alive. It was beautiful. Netherlings look heroes and warrior in their prime. Good. Our wicked foes fled from sun-dropped dance like twilight before the dawn. It is good to see you awake. Don't worry, you weren't asleep for long. And judging by your fierce expression, the creator didn't sap you any of your trademark vigor. Your work is done, Mrawa'a. You did a commendable job as our shield. Now you can lay down your burden. It was thanks to your bravery that I was able to deal with the final blow to the fiend. And with the Grail back in our possession, I think we can consider this expedition across the seas to be a successful one. The sooner helped us gather the wounded and see them safely to Rishgard. We couldn't have done it without you. Netherling protect allies as fiercely as a gale cat protecting kittens. The Zundu are moved by your might. You were equally as impressive. I should learn the sun-drop dance myself. Though I won't strike a figure half as fierce as yours. Yeah, definitely fiercer than Lozikwa would. Because stupid animations. The Zulus seem to have everything well in hand, and Handeloop is likely eager to see us. We should return to Rishgard as soon as we can. scenic route. It's so nice out here in the sky. Aww. It's time for them to get their new armor. I'm stupid. I went the wrong way. Ah, the heroes of the day have returned. Thanks to your valor, the threat Lufin posed is no more. Once more, not a single life was lost. On behalf of the Temple Knights, allow me to express my utmost gratitude to you all. You don't know me any thanks. After all, it was my fault that the ice cradle, my fault that the crater was stolen in the first place, and ultimately my fault that your delegation to Okazunu turned into a melee. It may be true that our visit to the Sea of Clouds was far from peaceful, but the bond between the Sundu and the Temple Knights is only deepened through overcoming mutual adversity. Blessings often taking inscrutable forms. And while we know not whether Lufin yet lives, we do know that she can no longer reach the source of her ill-gotten power. So we have little more to fear from her. With the crisis behind us, the common folk no longer have aught to fear. We will make known the story of Leofin's schemes and the heroes who worked to follow them, and in time I hope the trust in our order will be restored. The Temple Knights shall continue to build relations with our neighbors for years to come, relations which shall form the foundation for Ishgard's future. We would be honored if we could count on you among our allies in this endeavor. Anything you need, simply call upon us. We'll be there, no questions asked. And with that, it's time we return home. It's been an honor. That does make me think. Will Lufin return? What will they use her for? We'll be passing through Tulol on our way back, Mrawa'a. If you have business in those parts, we'd love to speak with you in Gibraltar before setting off. See you soon, hopefully. We have to go. There go our friends now. Watch them as they go. I see. Let me check something. Glad you made it back, Trail, bro. I'd been in the Gusher for so long, I'd almost forgotten what it's like to sweat. But remember now. You can be sure. Blood, sweat, and tears. The Tuliolo Beach. Mrawa'a, there you are. I was afraid you would want to see you before we left. You arrived no long ago, and a prize broke of everything that happened. This is the longest I've spent away from our village. But even though Tuliolo and Ishgard were like entirely different worlds to me, I was only ever treated with kindness. Is there anything the matter, Tinto? Nothing. It's just something I've been thinking about. Our people have always been self-sufficient, but the Ishgardians and the Zundu showed that looking to your neighbor can reveal a way through the harshest difficulties. And you heard, Lu? The bond between Ishgard and Zundu was only made deeper through their shared deal. To trust another to such a degree, well, I think it's a goal we should all strive towards. We have at least one friend like that, don't we? He who bet his ears to every note of the narwhal's lullaby without a shade of fear in his eyes. Thank you, Mrawa'a. Aw, shucks. For believing in us. For believing that no matter the outcome, your actions would not be in vain. In so doing, you taught me the worth of fighting alongside allies you can trust. Even if your shield breaks, this is not the end. Oh, Shepard! You're right. It's our faith in our allies, and their faith in us, that gives us the courage to protect each other. But approaching someone with open arms doesn't mean they will accept you. The relations between our people and our neighbors have been strained by generational mistrust. You must take care to mend them properly. If you can do that, and learn to look forward towards the future, hand in hand, then there will be no need to use the cradle ever again. People can sleep and dream untroubled, and awaken with bright eyes. I only see those days come to pass. Me too. Then you and I can finally spend more time together. Right, of course. If we're going to see the future, then we should get back to our village. They'll be overjoyed to see the cradle returned. Thank you for everything, Mrawa'a. Next time we meet, maybe we both have good news to share. See you in the patches. Before the patches, yes. And that, my friends, is that. 5 weeks in a row we went for these patches. Not patches, these role quests. And we did it. After much trials and tribulations, we completed them all. Red Mage, Dancer, Warrior, Ninja, and White Mage. The heroes of the hour. And only one of those sets is like max power, or the equivalent thereof. Because I've been using the level 90 gear the whole time. With this, we're done with the role quests. Of course, that means one thing. Next week, return to an MSQ. Next week, we take the fight to Zoraja and his people. For those who have lost, and for those we can yet save. This is Kaiju-Z wishing everyone a good, happy and good morning, midday, and afternoon. Till then, have a good one.